Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and most surely I am most forgiving to him who repents and believes and does good. I am most forgiving to him who repents, who does good, and then continues to follow on the right direction. Only then I am forgiving to him. Yani when you have realized the good or the bad that you have done and you ask for and seek for forgiveness. That is called taqwa. On the day of judgment, it doesn't matter what color of the skin we have. No. It doesn't matter how much money we have obtained. It doesn't matter how many friends we have. What matters the most is how much taqwa we have in our hearts and our souls. And in respect to taqwa, there are 4 levels that can be achieved. 4 levels. The first level of taqwa is wara'i ta'biri. Wara'i ta'biri means to abstain from the prohibited things. Yani that whatever is prohibited, you abstain from it. Khalas. This is the first level of taqwa. Imagine if we don't even abstain from anything that is prohibited. We don't even have a basis to call ourselves people who have piety. Taqwa comes from the root word waqaya, which means to abstain. We cannot say we have taqwa when we do not abstain. And that is only the first level. The second level of taqwa is called wara'i salihin, which means to abstain from doubtful things so that one may not commit a haram act. Sometimes we are in a situation whereby we are not sure whether something is halal or haram. And because we are not sure, our intellect will tell us, it is okay, it is doubtful, so maybe I'll do it. Inshallah, if I find out later it is haram, then I'll stop doing it. For the person who is reaching the second level of taqwa, if it is doubtful, at any given moment or level, he abstains from it regardless. Why? Because the ultimate submission is towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The third level of taqwa is called wara'i muttaqeen, which means to abstain from permissible things, so that one is protected from haram at all costs. Yani abstaining from that which is even permissible. Watching TV is permissible? Of course. But if you want to reach this third level of taqwa, in the event you are watching TV, a show, a documentary, and for a split second something that is haram comes on that channel, you are protected from it because you didn't even see it in the first place. Even if you turn off the TV for a split second, you saw it. But people who reach the third level of taqwa do not even worry about such a thing because they go away from that which is even permissible. That is the third level of taqwa. And then Allama Majlisi says, the fourth level of taqwa is wara'i sadiqeen, which means to avoid everything that is not religious. Anything that is not religious, so that they are complete, under the complete protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is where we say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya Allah, protect me from shaitan at all costs. That is the fourth level of taqwa. And despite having the fourth level of taqwa, we have the example of Muhammad ibn Muslim, who was still weeping and crying. Do not compare us to these lofty personalities. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Inna alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat ulaika hum khayrul bariyya. This is chapter 98, verse number 7. Who is this talking about? When people ask Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, what is this verse and who does this verse reply to or imply to? And he says this verse implies to anybody who has the wilayat of Ali ibn Abu Talib. And the translation of this verse means, as for those who believe and do good, surely they are the best of men. Anyone who follows Ali ibn Abu Talib, anyone who follows the wilayah of the Ahlul Bayt, up to and including the 12th Imam, they are the one who are considered the best of men. Yani, they do only good, nothing else. Whatever is in their heart is good, whatever is in their soul is good. Then actually their thoughts are all good. No negativity whatsoever. A man comes to Imam al-Hassan. This man is on the horse. And he stops next to the Imam and he had the hatred of Ahlul Bayt. And he starts abusing the Imam. He starts cursing at Imam al-Hassan. He starts putting him down constantly. And Imam al-Hassan is just waiting and listening and listening and listening. And finally Hassan ibn Ali says, do you want to come inside and get something to eat? Look at the iman, the taqwa that Imam al-Hassan is showing us, the muhib of Ahlul Bayt. That how we should act, even if you are insulted, even if you are trying to control your anger, then control it and swallow it. And then when that person is done, show him your akhlaq, show him how to act in this world. That is a level of taqwa. What is wilayat? It is said that Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq told Jabir ibn Abdullah Ansari, and he says, "Oh Jabir, listen to this carefully because there are certain messages in here that we can apply in our lives, inshallah. Oh Jabir, do you think that it is enough for anyone just to claim by his tongue that he loves the Ahlul Bayt?" And then he gives conditions. Do you think that it is enough? Then he continues and he says, does he by such a claim become our Shia? And then he says, I swear by Allah that until a person fears Allah, that's number one, fears Allah and obeys Him, he cannot claim to be our Shia. Then he continues and says, he must have humility. That person must have humility. Like the example I gave you of Hassan ibn Ali. He must have the humility. Furthermore, he must be just. He must fulfill all his promises, the amanah, the trust that he has in people and to Allah, he must fulfill them at all costs. I gave an example of ghiba yesterday. That when a person talks about another person and you have the capability of defending him and you don't defend him, you get 70 more sins as the person who is actually committing the ghiba. Fulfills his promises, engage as much as possible in the remembrance of Allah, fulfill his obligations of salah and fasting. He shows affection. Most importantly, you show affection to all those who claim to love the Ahlul Bayt, even if they may be liars. Very important. If someone claims to follow the Ahlul Bayt, and you know that he or she is committing an act that may not be right, that may be unjust, you show your affection towards that person only because you have an affection to the Ahlul Bayt. Look at the importance of love and wilayah. Unfortunately, the only thing that prohibits us from attaining such love is the friendships that we keep with shaitan. And I'm not talking about Iblis. I am not talking about Azazil. No. I am talking about the shaitan that envelops us in every single facet of our life.